how good this C63 Coupé is. Today's episode of Remove Before Race is sponsored by Skillshare. I often get asked how I do the amazing effects on RBR, and some of it is thanks to what I've learned on Skillshare, which is an online learning community with thousands of classes covering dozens of creative skills. So like me, you can fuel your creativity or even your career, and Skillshare is the perfect place for you to learn these kinds of skills. With the premium membership, you get unlimited access, and it's also very affordable, just costing $10 a month. And because Skillshare is sponsoring today's video, you can sign up with the link in the description and get 2 months free trial. Apart from the After Effects tutorials, I found advanced aerial videography that we use often with our drone shots, and the fundamentals of photography that I use extensively on Instagram to be extremely useful. Thanks for listening, guys, and now straight to the episode. Hey guys, welcome back to Remove Before Race, and we are in a very special studio here at Brabus to show you the first ever look at the Brabus 600 based on the facelift of the C63S from AMG. So we're going to go through some of the little design changes, what the performance upgrades are on this car. But first, to do that, let's remind you what the standard C63 is like. So if you look at the standard car, you get 510 brake horsepower out of the 4 litre. It looks in standard form like this, but when you bring it to Brabus for this upgrade, a few little things change. Of course, the first thing that you notice is the famous double B logo that you get on top of the AMG grille. You also get it on top of the bonnet. And there is an interesting carbon fiber element that comes on top of the front air intakes here, which will give you a close-up of as well. But it's nothing too alien to what you would expect to see on a C63, which is nice, especially as an AMG fan. I don't think you want to alienate that customer base in that sense. Then we've got further upgrades. If you look at the standard wheels, they are like this, but when you bring in these special T-design Brabus wheels, they're finished in the same as the body color of the car, so these are finished in obsidian black. And there's even a lovely matte carbon fiber detail that runs through the 5 spokes. And it really gives it a special finish when you see it up close. A lot of the design of Brabus that you appreciate is when you see the cars up close, just how much care has been taken to make them look individual and a bit more special. Of course, you get the Powered by Brabus badge here on the side, very important. Then, if we look at the rear of the car, again, you can see a much more aggressive rear spoiler there, but that's not what takes your attention. It is the special diffuser at the bottom, again, finished in matte carbon fiber, extremely aggressive, and with those absolutely iconic Brabus pipes. And there is a special exhaust system for this 600 as well, which we're going to have a listen to in a moment. Now, the design element, not huge, but it's the performance where this car really stands apart. Now, unlike tuners, Brabus are completely different, and they add an additional control unit to the car. And this is a much safer and a much more clever way of adding power. And the power that it adds to the 600 is, well, 600 brake horsepower and an additional 100 Newton meters of torque. Now, imagine that in a rear-wheel drive C63 by Brabus. It's going to be incredible, and hopefully we get to drive it soon. Now, the other benefits of having a control unit, if you get factory software updates for your engine, it's not going to suddenly destroy everything that's been done. It will work in tandem with your OEM software and keep the car exactly as it should be. So you don't have any headache. You've got all the Brabus warranties and all the confidence that you could possibly want, having made your car even more of a monster. So all in all, outside, it's a very subtle update in terms of the design. It's that rear diffuser that really gives you the idea that this is a Brabus alongside their light alloy wheels. But that's what this entry-level 600 is all about. There is going to be a model above this that we'll talk about soon, but this is your accessible power upgrade to the C63S rather than the crazy rockets that Brabus are also capable of making. Now, this is just the first shot at upgrading the facelift of the C63 by Brabus. There may be something else coming in the future. I think perhaps it could look something like this. Let's see what these guys cook up here. It could be an absolute monster. And of course, I would love to see a coupe version, as I absolutely love the coupe, or maybe even a wagon one. Don't we just love fast wagons? Now guys, there's nothing different inside of this car, but what I really want to show you is what the exhaust sounds like, because there's quite a bit that's been done to the 600 to give it a very unique tune. So guys, inside this Brabus 600, nothing too different to the C63. You do see the Brabus mats, you've got some nice Brabus door pins as well, and I quite appreciate the ambient lighting that we have within the door sill on the Brabus logo, which is quite nice. But what this is all about now is to show you guys what the exhaust is like. So you have the usual uprated Brabus exhaust system that is encased within that carbon fibre rear diffuser and the titanium tipped exhaust tips. However, there's also another product which is separate to the uprated exhaust system with its change mufflers, and that is a blow-off valve system to give you the sound of a blow-off valve in a turbo, accentuate that sound to make this sound more like a turbo engine. So we're going to see what that sounds like now. But first, let's start the car up. We're going to see what comfort sounds like, which is, I guess, OEM sound, and then move it into race mode. Of course, I held the pedal up for AMG Emotion Start. That still works with the Brabus exhaust. Now, let's give it some revs in comfort and see what that sounds like. Now in comfort, you can still hear that blow-off valve going, I'm sure you can, but the actual revs in the sound is factory stock. Now, if we go into race mode, you get some pops and bangs, you get the blow-off valve, it's all a little bit louder, a little bit crisper. It's quite interesting. Now, I hope that we will get a chance to drive this. I really want to see what does 600 brake horsepower and extra 100 Newton meters do to the rear-wheel drive monster that the C63S already was. So hopefully we'll get to see that soon. Guys, until then, I hope you enjoyed that first look at the Brabus 600. There's more Brabus content coming soon from RBR. The next video is a super exclusive look at the Brabus factory itself with all the individualization that goes on behind the scenes, and you'll get to see some amazing cars there too. And after that, we drive their flagship G800 based on the new G63. And as the cherry on top, there will be after this one more world exclusive from Brabus that we'll be bringing you just to top things off. So if you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe and share it, and I'll see you again soon.